Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I told you we would be back after 1 week break after 35 episodes.
35 episodes. Actually, you know something funny is I numbered the episodes, right? Did you see the changes that I make? I didn't tell you about them.
Yeah, I saw them.
So I numbered the episodes, but we missed a number.
We missed a number?
We were one episode ahead. Last episode we thought it was 36, but it was 35.
Damn.
And I caught it. So now
you caught it.
We're all fixed.
We're back on track.
All safe. Yeah.
We're all safe. Not gonna lie, I don't know why, which has a lot to say with psychology and how us humans, how our brains work.
Yeah.
I felt guilty taking like a week off.
I know.
After and I mean, why? I was trying to break down like why I felt guilty, right? Because I'm in university, I'm working full time. I'm like, dude, like fucking chill.
Chill
Took
out.
a week off. Like
2 classes? What? 2 classes at university, right?
Yeah, I'm taking statistics and psychology class.
Yeah. Statistics is easy though, you said, right?
It's
supposed to be really easy.
Continuous variables. I just continue to
not remember what
exactly
they are.
I know, it's crazy.
The one variable, I don't know. I'm not going to continue that because I would have took a tangent. But no, yeah, I felt guilty too. But it's because, at this point, it's 35 episodes, 35 weeks that we've been doing it in a row, nonstop. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks we recorded a couple in advance if we were doing something.
Yeah, but that, still counts.
But still, we're still, yeah. So,
but,
we're back, and we're back with video.
We are back with video.
That camera can't see you. That camera can see you.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So you don't have the wide lens, eh? That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Why not?
Couldn't tell
fuck you. So
Couldn't
yeah. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. So it is what it is. But we're back. We're back. We got the video. We're gonna be doing some new things as well.
New things. Very new things.
Should we say it?
You can say it if you want. It's
not okay. Well, it was your idea, so I'm gonna let you say it. If you're gonna say if I want, I don't want to because
you don't want
not.
to.
So.
You don't want to, then I won't.
Okay, then there you go.
It's Perfect. It's nothing new. If you're listening to this podcast, you're gonna be getting everything. But what we thought about doing is we're gonna be, first of all, recording again, so they're gonna be going on YouTube in a bit of a different format. We're not gonna be sitting on a couch anymore. Obviously, you can see this. Our cameras are gonna be side by side. It's gonna look a little better, I think. We're testing it out. We're still going with the flow. We got a really professional setup, right?
We do.
We got the retro spec tripod and the
and the full blown speaker plug setup.
Speaker plug, the speaker plug setup.
Yeah, really limited edition.
Absolutely.
So
what we're doing is with these videos, we're going to cut them up in clips, and we're going to be just posting clips to TikTok. We're going to be posting the videos on YouTube, maybe a couple of clips on Instagram,
And the main reason we're going on TikTok is because we support China. And,
of course.
Yeah.
We're recording them both with Huawei phones.
We are, yeah.
Yeah. So
also thank you, Canada and the United States for finally, letting the Huawei CEO go back to China.
Was it the CEO? I didn't fact check that.
I think it is the CEO.
Allegedly, it's the CEO.
I'm pretty sure. I'm like 90% certain it is.
Mm-hmm.
It was a woman.
Yeah,
CEO,
it was a woman, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kidding.
It's crazy because
it's China.
Chinese woman.
I know.
They don't let Chinese women anywhere.
That's what I mean.
And it's okay to say that because
it's communist.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not good. Nobody agrees with it.
Okay.
Let's steer clear of that.
Okay.
We tried not to mention China too much in this episode.
No, we don't like disappearing. I've been tortured enough.
Yeah, I finally let you out of the basement.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been physically assaulted more times than I can
not from me.
Say this week.
Not from...
So...
Yeah, it's...
so my body's sore.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal. It's not illegal at all.
No.
My body's a little sore, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It is what it is. Life's life.
It's fine.
It's just sitting in the fire. It's fine. Life is fine. You can tell he's sane. He's perfectly sane. So we have a couple topics to talk about this week.
We have a couple topics.
As we always do. We come on here and we like to discuss topics.
Lightly discuss.
No, like to.
We do
like to
lightly discuss
topics.
Yeah. Tropics.
Flint Tropics.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So
It's gonna be really good.
let's get this show.
Shit on the show.
Let's get this show on the road. Here is our 2 cents. Steven, can you tell me what you would do with a $508 million investment? What would you do?
508 million. Now is that in
Just a number I chose, like just out of my back pocket.
Oh yeah, just out of the blue.
Just
what kind of
out of my
currency
back-
is it in?
The Canadian dollar.
Okay, and does it matter where it came from?
What are we talking here? Like blood money?
No, like was it?
Okay.
It was. I assume it was taxpayer money, right? That's where I would get this
Oh,
money.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see how you would get it any other way.
I think that I would. That's a tough one because that's.
It is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money, and
But it can also easily be spent.
very quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a lot of things going on right now that the money could go to.
Yeah. Oh, there is. Yeah. Yeah.
So I completely agree with you when you say, well, quite frankly, not what you said,
What I was thinking.
but what you're thinking of,
Yeah.
which is how to use it. Yeah.
I didn't say how to use it, but it's tough. Yeah, I think maybe
There's a pandemic going on.
Paying some no. Oh yeah, there's
Go
a
ahead.
pandemic going on.
What were you going to say?
I was going to say paying professional sports players. I think that's a great use of it. That's a throwback to one of our episodes.
Yeah, I think they should get paid more.
Yeah.
I think LeBron James should get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of all the extra, social justice that he brings to the table.
Okay.
He should get paid more for that.
Mhm.
And for his basketball skills, because
Yeah, of course.
I don't know.
The basketball.
I don't know. I
skills
just
is a
don't
plus
think he's
thing.
getting paid enough. That's
No.
all.
Yeah, the pandemic. I mean, the pandemic is a good one. You could go to
Pandemic's a
economic
good one.
recovery of the pandemic.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, we're just spitting ideas out.
That sounds nice.
You could put it.
Maybe. Maybe.
Go ahead.
I mean, the indigenous community is in need.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah, I think that's honestly one of the smarter ways to
Yeah.
use it.
I would also say, maybe not as prominent in the States, but the black community as well in Canada could use.
You don't. Why do you
Some
say not as
resources.
prominent in the States?
Oh no, sorry, I meant not as prominent in Canada.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
more
you confused me
prominent
there.
in the States.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that could.
Maybe I'm out of line saying that,
Yeah, that's
because after all,
that's pretty far fetched.
I am just a white guy.
Well, that's the thing is you're using the money in smart and good ways, not for political gain. So that's where you're
but why?
wrong.
Why would you do that?
Exactly, that's where you're wrong. You
Right.
can't be using that money.
No, you cannot. No.
Well, one
Come
thing
on.
I-
especially not in the middle of pandemic. Like you just,
No.
there's certain things that we just don't need to do.
Exactly.
Especially with the. I mean, listen. One of the big reasons COVID is so in our face is because, the ICU I do not see.
No, you don't see you.
Right, you don't see ICUs.
INCU.
Because they're
I'm
all
not-
taken.
Or IDCU.
Right.
I don't see you.
So maybe we could have taken like 200 million of that 500 million and invested in maybe some medical gear. I don't know. Maybe.
Dude, how much does 200 million in medical gear get you?
Not a lot.
I would assume it's not that much,
but
but it is
More
better
than-
yeah.
because that's how usually things work.
Yeah, yeah. What, money? Things cost money?
Things cost money, and depending on how much money you spend, determines the amount of additions you'll be able to make.
Yeah. Yeah, that's normally how it works. So
No-
depending on how much
yeah.
money you have, you'll be able to buy more of said items.
Right.
Generally.
And even if it only gets 2 extra things, well, it's 2 extra things that you didn't have
that
before.
you didn't have beforehand. That you traded
Right.
money for these
Consensually.
goods. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Or
Hopefully.
sometimes it can be unconsensually.
Sometimes it can be.
I think you know an example of unconsensual use of money?
Oh, well, I think I know where you might be going. Something to do with the recent election?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good one. You caught that.
I don't know. I think it was a good call,
It was a
Snap
good,
election.
Yeah, good quick one. He's
you
the one
know?
that called it. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that don't know a lot about why this happened. We didn't know actually in the last podcast? Yeah, the last podcast
I remember,
we recorded, we didn't know who called it or where the money, not even the money, who called it or whatever.
Right.
What happened?
And I remember in one of the previous podcasts we had, I remember searching up like when the next election is,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought I remember seeing like 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I wasn't even thinking
Election.
about politics
No.
at all. And then all of a sudden, like things started getting pumped out.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on? We're getting an election all of a
It
sudden?
was in like a month.
And it's like,
half.
oh yeah, debates are like next week, the week after that, and then votes are. I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's quick. That's fast as fuck. That's faster than me sprinting.
Very fast.
Very fast.
So
Very fast. Feather.
Yeah. Feather fast?
Yeah, feather fast.
Feather is that fast? Are feathers notoriously fast? I don't know. I've never raced a feather, so.
Feathers are fast, I think.
Well, when they're falling, what's heavier? A pound of feathers?
They're the same weight.
Or a pound of feathers is the same weight as itself?
No, continue. A pound of feathers and a pound of what?
No, not a pound. Or a Canadian $500 million election.
Pound of feathers. That definitely hits harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It destroys the economy a little more.
Just a little more.
So basically, yeah, the election, the snap election, was called by Trudeau, by the Liberal government. And was the money, do we know, we're assuming, but is it taxpayer money or is it money they raised from donations and stuff like that?
Probably a mixture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think that it's a mixture as well. So basically he had a minority government. And what a minority government is, do you know what it is, a minority government?
Yeah.
It's when they have more seats than any other party can get, but every other party combined makes up more seats than they do.
Right.
And
it's hard to get the policies they want.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're a minority.
Exactly.
And it has to go through.
So they're not the only ones that okay it. They don't
Right.
give the final say. They have to vote through everybody in Parliament.
Right. Because they have
all
to
the
negotiate.
200 and some odd seats, or 300 and some odd seats, I think.
Right. Because, for example, the past two elections, the Conservatives were actually more in popular vote, but not.
Yeah.
Not.
This one, I believe the Conservatives were up 400,000 in popular vote.
Yeah. So the Conservatives are always like right behind the Liberals, meaning the Liberals have to really negotiate with the Conservatives about the policies.
Absolutely.
And then it's NDP with the third most. And then, yeah.
But
then NDP is also supports Liberals, so
has a support against Liberal, exactly.
right. So usually they're okay. Usually they, minority or not, they'll get through pretty left policies.
Yeah.
Regardless of how strong the Conservatives are.
So he called it, the only speculations that I've seen is for securing a majority government to be able to make the final says and do stuff that he wanted to do and sweep it under the rug regarding COVID, regarding the economic recovery or anything like that.
Right.
Actually, I showed you a video, what was it, of him saying that he's not worried, he won't, so a journalist asked him a question, something to do with the economic policy, and how he's taking care of it. And he responded,
right.
Trudeau, responded as saying that he hoped that he wouldn't be blamed for not worrying about the economic policy currently. And I think that's very dangerous, very scary that he's saying that. So he called the election.
It just makes no sense.
No.
Right?
He called the election to hopefully in his mind secure the majority vote because the polls were showing that he should have been able to secure the majority of seats
Right.
in the parliament. However, he didn't get that. He got a minority with one extra seat.
Right.
So he got another seat.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And spent $500 million in the middle of a pandemic to do that. And again, we're not sure where the money came from. We're assuming that some of it's tax money. I would think some of it's tax money.
And donations.
And donations, but still.
Listen, as Canada...
That's besides the point of where it comes from.
It might shock some of you, but Canada, we're not a very powerful country at all. Like, sorry, but it's just the truth.
No, we're not.
Especially as a country, part of the G7 and NATO and all that.
Yeah.
Like, we're not up to par.
No,
I don't think so,
no,
to be honest.
I don't think so either. We're not super powerful.
Like, especially the military, for example, like, I know, like, some of our planes, I can't tell you all the details, but we had bought, like, used Australian warplanes
Yeah.
that were already super old.
Yeah.
And it's like, why don't we just get, like, new ones? Invest a little more money and get the new technology. I mean, it's like defense, and
military's
and with
never been
with turmoil. Like right now, I'm not gonna talk about it this podcast, but there's a lot of turmoil right now in the world. Mm-hmm. And if I'm not gonna name anything because I don't want to disappear, but there's turmoil, and if you look hard enough, and maybe if you connect the dots and read between the lines.
Maybe watch the beginning of the podcast.
Maybe.
Or listen to it. You can listen to it as well.
That too.
Yeah, but
with that being said, I forgot what I was saying. So
you were just saying about the turmoil and
the
dangers of putting money into our military.
Right. And
it's never been.
So with that being said, I think the 500 million, I mean, listen, could have been used for something else because as it turns out, well, there's still minority. So this literally happened for nothing.
Literally no reason, which is what we were saying. It's no reason at all. Nothing happened.
So
you're going to need another. I mean, he can call a snap election. I assume there's some cooldown. Is there a cooldown timer or something like that? I hope,
because I'm thinking there is a cooldown because when I think about, let's say you're playing a video game, right? Let's say you're playing Civilization 6.
Okay.
Right, and there's certain choices you can make that are important choices.
Yeah.
But then there's a cooldown.
Yeah.
So I'll have to assume that there is a cooldown because there's no way you can be like next week, like.
Well, actually,
surprise, bitches.
Because the world's policies were based. It started because of civilization.
Word.
Mm-hmm. So
it's true.
If it happens in there, it's a game, but it's the policies need a
direct correlation to what's going on right now is the game. I mean, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it happened for nothing. One more seat. Conservatives, again, had more popular vote than them, which is something else that's stupid. When I was watching the election the night of, so basically when they finish with the East Coast and Quebec, and Ontario is done counting their votes, 99% of the time they know who's going to be in power. Yeah,
so Toronto and Montreal carries some heavy hits.
It does.
Heavyweight hits.
I would say a vast majority of Ontario was blue, conservative, if you looked at the maps. And Toronto and the surrounding region were red, and that carried the whole thing.
Yeah, it carries the weight. If you can secure Toronto and Montreal, usually you'll also secure at least a minority dump.
Yeah.
Just because of how much weight those two provinces.
Exactly.
Toronto's not a province, but
just
how much weight those two carry.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it determines the winner usually.
It does.
Usually for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, I know in the previous podcast I was saying like, I was liking NDP, but then, with their biggest thing was taxing the rich. And then when it came to explaining policies on how they're going to tax the rich, nothing much was going on.
No.
And then they suddenly talked about capital gains tax, which doesn't affect just the 1%. It affects 100% of the population.
I wouldn't say 100%.
Well, okay, not everyone, right?
Is selling stocks or knows how they work or real estate or whatever else. But.
So it affects. It has the potential to affect everyone.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
How about that? It has the potential to.
And again, we clarified that it wasn't as bad.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
As it sounds. No, it's not. You're not getting
But
75% of your money taken off.
No.
But it still is significant, and it's not what they were saying. And we did. I mean, so we read an article. Eric, did you share with me that article about the capital gains tax, or did I share? Either way.
I think you shared it with me.
And then I said that I haven't confirmed it yet, and then I watched a video of him saying it. Unless it was a deep fake, which thank God we don't have to worry about that yet. Because what when that happens? When you're in an election and somebody makes... Do you know what a deep fake is?
No.
It's like when you
like
watch...
let's say like a deep fake. Are you really faking it? Like let's say I'm gonna go to the right and the left, right? Am I going a little deeper to the right and then to the left kind of thing? Am I, like let's say I'm trying to deke someone out.
I'm sure that is a deep fake.
Deep fake.
I'm sure it is.
Okay. What do you mean by deep fake?
I don't know if you have to have seen something where it's like it's somebody acting or saying something, but it's AI builds the person talking, and it's an AI voice where it looks and sounds like them, but it's not actually them. It's like a computer that generated that.
That sounds intense.
Yeah. So
that
basically,
sounds
what I'm saying
deeply fake.
It is deeply fake. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deep neural network of artificial intelligence fakeness.
Wow.
I know. That's what you got to do sometimes. If you want somebody to believe what you're saying, you just need to really come up with these big words that sound super convincing.
Yeah.
And they'll believe anything you say.
Most of the time, people won't check on you.
No.
So
absolutely. So, yeah. At least we're not in that sense in the Black Mirror episode yet, where we have to start worrying about if it's actually what they're saying or if it's a deep fake or whatever.
Right.
But yeah,
we're not there yet.
No, we're not.
Keyword yet.
So yeah, that's what we saw. So we did validate and see him saying that. And so that, what were you gonna say? You were continuing with. You said you were gonna vote for them, but that made you question yourself with NDP.
Yeah, and then I was also seeing how I don't want to say like poorly perform, but they were stagnant. They weren't gaining any ground.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, there's no point. And when I see people's stories, or when I used to see, because I'm not really on Instagram anymore, other than our podcast, but there's less mustard shit than my personal account had. When I was on Instagram, there was a lot of further left propaganda.
Yeah.
Floating around, which is fine. People can do what they want. So, seeing the far left propaganda, as a white heterosexual male, it made me think that I don't, the weight of my word doesn't really matter.
No.
So you know what? I'm going to do everyone a favor as a white privileged male and just not vote. Because guess what? Apparently to society, it doesn't matter who's in office, right? It's going to benefit me because I'm white, privileged, heterosexual, blue eyes to blue eye privilege.
Blue eye, yeah.
Brown hair privilege.
Beard
privilege. Ginger beard privilege. Because like having brown hair, a ginger beard, that's like superior genetics.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Kidding.
So allegedly.
Yeah. So I was like, dude, NDP, conservative, PPC, Green Party, liberal, it's all the same fucking mustard shit. Honestly, like
it's all
no, seriously, like whether it's fucking O'Toole or Trudeau or Jagmeet. Well, I would say if it's NDP or PPC, we would see some drastic changes.
Yeah, we would, yeah.
But between liberal and conservative, it's the same thing.
It's overall the same.
It's another white guy, another privileged white guy. They're gonna do certain things a little different. Conservatives maybe care a little more about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
And liberals care more about progressiveness and openness. And you need a balance. So honestly,
absolutely.
I didn't vote.
No.
And I have no shame in saying I didn't vote. I'll never have shame in that.
No.
I didn't practice
Well,
my
it's at the
practice
end of the day,
my right.
it's whatever the hell you want to do.
fuck.
At the end of the day,
Holy
it's
shit.
your decision.
You know, it's so mustard shit.
Mm-hmm.
So mustard shit. It's so, to me, I like, before I used to like to think I care about politics and that I'm passionate about it. But it's like, other than, like, my belief is change is very hard.
It's tiring caring about that.
Very tiring just because of how divisive it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think time does a better job at change than people actually do.
Yeah.
So if ever there comes a time where I see less divisiveness and I see that progress could, you know, let's say like NDP is about to really benchmark or something like that. Something we haven't seen before is happening.
Yeah.
Then I would probably go and support it if I'm for it.
Yeah.
But for now, to me, it doesn't matter if it's liberal or conservative.
Well, like, did you watch the debate at all?
Yeah, some of it. Well, I watched the first 30 minutes.
It was bad because
and then I was like,
the questions weren't very meaningful. There wasn't a lot of substance behind them.
But honestly,
they weren't
man,
answering questions.
Right.
They're attacking each other the whole time. Like, shut up. I've mentioned this many times at the podcast.
Many times.
I hate that.
For sure. And you know, at the end of the day, it's not exclusive to this year.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the last elections debates. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's the same thing over and over again.
Always.
It's either shit questions from shit journalists, and then they get answered in a shitty way.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point in watching that.
Mm-hmm.
It goes around in circles faster than I can say hello. People are criticizing, not even criticizing, like bashing, like you said, right? Personally attacking, barraging other sides. And it's like,
not even people, just like the leaders themselves are attacking each other.
No,
too.
I know.
It's everybody's attacking each other.
Like,
it's always
for
war
example,
for the other person.
Exactly. And for example, this debate, the whole time they're shitting on Trudeau.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not just him.
No, it's
like
not.
behind all these choices.
Especially not in a minority government.
No. I mean, I get it. I mean, I'm kind of getting tired of seeing the same guy like come out on top.
Yeah.
After, like, you know, so many wrong things that he did.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be like a liberal hater here, but he's done some pretty gnarly shit in his time in office. The one that got me was the bribery. When, one company, a Canadian company in Quebec, had been guilty of bribery, and he tried to influence the jury, I think. No, the defense attorney.
Oh, okay.
He tried to influence, and then the woman was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
There's so much bribery that goes on in politics.
So then what she did was she made it public.
Yeah.
And then he fired her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh
right
my
away.
God, like this is
it's so obvious.
This is a shit show.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show you, right? Like people in power, they don't suffer consequences, right? There's always, I've been watching this TV show called Billions.
Yeah. Is it good?
It's really good. And it really goes to show you, whether it's realistic or not, some parts are definitely realistic, how deep corruption is and how deep the money goes, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, we got to remember that. And after that event, I was like, wow, like that's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, it is.
And I was just surprised that he just still comes out on top. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I don't want to be a part of it. To me, it's mustard shit. And at the end of the day, like I said, you know, according to all the far left propaganda, I have nothing to add as a white privileged male. So it's fine. So I won't add about it.
Yeah.
I'll focus on my own life.
Focus on yourself. Build yourself up.
I'm going to build myself
that's
up.
what you're going to do anyways.
That's what I was going to do anyways, for sure.
So it's better for you, right?
Better for me. Less distraction, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not because I'm determined. It's because I'm white.
Yeah, well, yeah,
for
that's
sure.
why.
So it's fine.
Something else, still speaking about politics, that I wanted to mention was
the recent people problem. Hey, Jesus, dude,
it sucks. It's always there. Is the recent mandates from the federal government? Is it the federal government? I think it is.
Yeah.
Regarding
comes from both. I think it's all.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're
pretty enforced
too, but it's the mandate of the proof of vaccination. So you need to show your proof of vaccination to get into restaurants,
Gyms.
gyms, yeah, stores too.
Stores, eh? Okay.
I think
Makes sense.
I am pretty sure. Well, not grocery stores, obviously.
Right. Because you still have your mask on.
Yeah,
So,
you do.
Yeah.
Bars, like anything inside, even dining outside. I think some.
No.
places.
Well, maybe some places, but usually dining outside, you're safe.
Yeah.
You don't need your proof of vaccination.
So it is. I guess that makes sense. So it is. So that's something that I just did want to talk about quickly. Well, first of all, how do you because we talked about it a little bit beforehand. Are you like, do you agree with it or?
Yeah. So let me explain my view on it. I'll start off by saying I've seen some videos of people comparing the mandates and the enforcements of police on COVID rules. They compare it to like the Gestapo in Nazi Germany. If you're making that comparison, I don't think you should be invited to discourse.
No. Yeah.
Like if you truly think that, not sarcastically. Sarcastically, think whatever you want.
If you truly think.
If you truly think that, I don't need discourse with
that's
you.
a little.
I don't.
I would say that at that point it's a little extreme.
Yeah. Like relax.
Yeah.
Fucking Gestapo. Jesus Christ. Okay, so made that clear. Let's move on to what else I think. I agree with the mandates, first of all. And I see both sides. I'll let you explain your side with the business aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain my side with, for me, how I see the government. Like the government, whenever there's potential for a lot of backlash, I think the government should take on that backlash.
Yeah.
Do you understand
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Why? Well, it's the government.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're protected. And it's their job to make very, very tough decisions that will divide populations.
Yeah.
So I consider this decision to be one of those.
Mm-hmm.
In a way, whether it's, I think Ontario, we're up to like 80% is double vaxxed.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the anti-vax population isn't very, it's not prominent. 20%, okay. That's a lot, but that's not all of anti-vax.
No, exactly.
I draw the line between two, like anti-vax and hesitancy, but I'm not going to go much about that.
There is, you said roughly 80% at this point of Ontarians above, Ontarioians above
Okay.
12 years of age are double vaxxed.
Yeah.
It might be either single or double vaxxed, but either way. And so our restrictions have pretty much been lifted. We don't really have restrictions other than wearing masks, right? Do we? I don't. Dining inside, there's still there's still a bit of capacity, but
for sure there's
it's pretty open.
It's
and
pretty
it has
open,
been for a couple months now.
Yeah.
And our cases
are
pretty good.
Yeah.
And we haven't done away with masks. We're still wearing masks. And that's the problem they had out west in Alberta, is they did away with masks and their cases are skyrocketed. Right. But there's also not a lot of them are vaccinated as much as we are in Ontario.
Right.
But I mean, so there is proof and we see that it is working because our cases actually, this Wednesday we had 400 and something cases.
Wow, that's low.
And that is the first time that we've had a lower case number than a year prior.
Wow.
So a year prior we had more cases than we did.
That's great news.
Yeah, it is.
That's great news for sure.
So obviously it's working. Continue with what you were saying.
That's awesome. It is great news. And just to finish my thought really quick is, yeah, I think the government did the right thing to mandate because it would create a lot of backlash. And I think it's the government's responsibility to take on that backlash, not the general population. Mm-hmm. So what do I mean by that is let's say instead of government mandates, it's like individual businesses.
Yeah.
Well, if an individual business, let's say in a highly unvaxxed area, decides, oh, you can only dine vaxxed, mm-hmm. people might get pissed and like start vandalizing that restaurant.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
Theoretically. Right?
That sounds like a fake word. That's a weird word. Is that a word? It is a word. It sounds like a fake word.
Does it?
Theoretically.
Doesn't sound fake to me.
Oh, well. You're also
no.
500 IQ.
I'm not. No.
So, you knew where I was going with that before I even said something.
Yeah, no, that ain't me. I'm definitely. The reason I consider myself smart is I try because we deconstruct things. That's the only reason.
Intelligent or smart? Is there a difference?
Man. Fuck. But that's the thing. If I was smart, I would know the difference.
Yeah, there you go.
Right? The reason I think that I'm just a little smart is because I take time to deconstruct things.
You look at things for deeper than what they are on the surface.
Like if I'm about to make a choice, I try to pros and cons on both, right? Just to see what I'm getting myself.
Pros and cons lists are so
because then you know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah,
you're like preparing your soul,
and it
you know,
you are.
Yeah,
and it works yourself harder to it strains your brain to think of cons when you think everything's good about it,
right?
Or think of pros when you think everything's bad about it,
right?
So you're doing something you don't want to do, you think everything's bad, you can find some good things. And that it helps you dealing with things like that. So it's very good.
Yeah, and less surprises and things like that. So So overall, I'm in agreement with the mandates. Listen, I don't think any of the mandates are out of line. I mean, we're in a pandemic. I think we've seen enough proof, like you said, right, of the regulations really making a difference. So let's keep on doing what we're doing and go from there. I'll let you explain.
I have another, just a couple things to add to what
and let me just say, your view too. Because I deconstruct too, right? I also agree with your view.
Yeah.
Regardless of which path they would have taken, I would have been okay with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll let you elaborate.
It's tough too because the place that we are currently at is sort of a good mix of regulations and free, some openness and some regulations being mandated still. And I think this is a good place that we can, as long as we can sustain the numbers, we can sustain in this sort of area with the restrictions that we're in until this pandemic's over. Because we're pretty good now. I feel like it's back to pretty much as normal as I remember at this point. Because I don't remember over a year ago. No. I can't imagine how it used to be.
And to touch on till this pandemic's over, I think COVID's always going to be around. I think COVID is the new. I'm not calling it a flu, but it is the new flu.
Yeah. The new
forget about the flu,
seasonal virus that comes around.
Yeah.
We'll say it that way.
And that sticks around.
Yeah.
Right? Because but eventually we might get lucky and there might be a mutation one day that is weaker in spread and lethalness.
And we get rid of it that way?
Right.
It's possible.
But also what's possible, right, is the other side. Is there could one day, because it's by chance, right, there could one day a mutation become incredibly contagious and lethal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it could be
one,
that too, yeah.
Right, so...
That's a combo that you don't want. It can be not very contagious and lethal. It sucks, but it's fine. It can be very contagious or not lethal. It sucks, but it's fine. But if it's really contagious and very lethal,
then it's
we're screwed.
Slow down, folks.
Yeah, we're screwed. So,
lockdown.
My thoughts on the mandate of giving proof of vaccination. First of all, I'm not anti-vax. I think that people should get vaxxed if they want to, because that is a basic human right, and it's in the Canadian, I forget the name of it, for our human
Charter
rights
of
policies.
Rights.
Yeah, whatever it is that an individual is allowed to either accept or deny healthcare.
Right.
So you can deny it all the hell it's
that's your
just
choice.
as much as you can accept it. So if you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in that. I'm not personally, I'm pro-vax, but I have nothing against individuals that choose not to.
No, exactly.
But when you start going anti-science, and it's kind of all right, you need to relax.
That's a little far.
Yeah.
However, so with the mandates, I think that I don't know so much as how I feel about the government mandating it, making it so you get fined or however they're I think they're fining people, right?
Oh yeah.
For
sure.
But I do agree that, and this is what the government's saying too, that restaurants and all of these things like the gym, indoor shopping, dining, it's all stuff that is what's the word that I used? It's all privileges. It's all stuff that it's stuff that it's privileges that you're given and stuff you can take advantage of. If you're being good, like if you walk into a store with a gun, you're not allowed in there, right? Like
Right.
You have to follow the rules. So I think that it could be up to the stores to enforce it themselves if they want it. If they want to make sure that only people that come in there are vaccinated,
Right.
or are not. However, I don't think that would be very efficient to slowing the spread of the virus and keeping our numbers down.
So here's an idea. Do you think the government mandates are because COVID's still pretty hot and it's still considered a worldwide pandemic? And do you think later on, when it is no longer an official pandemic, do you think they'll slack a bit and then they'll let businesses decide?
I'd like to think that they would let businesses decide if they want to or not.
Well,
however, that's the thing.
Like later on, right? Because like COVID's still hot. We need to take big controls now.
Yeah.
Right? Preventative measures.
Yeah.
Right? Hence the fines. Right?
Exactly.
So we might have like harsh mandates for like the first year, 2 years. But eventually, as we get the antibodies for it, booster shots, whatever.
We start eradicating it.
Exactly. And COVID becomes less of a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe at that point they'll be like, okay, we'll let businesses decide individually.
Yeah. See, that's the one thing too, is that's the part of me that is not sure, and part of the reason why I don't know if I like the government mandating or not, because I know that historically a lot of things, that I've been reading that have happened, if the government does something, it's a lot harder to have it happen than they do to relinquish it. They don't really like relinquishing power or rules that they have, policies that they have set. They get it set up and it stays like that. So, and I don't think that and I'm not really worried because it's not that big of a deal, but I think that there's a fine line of where they're starting to step with mandating all of this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
I would say, if this is gonna propel them to do more extreme mandates, like if this is like the first stepping stone,
I think this should be it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that this shouldn't be really any more further extreme measures taken. I don't even think that it's super extreme as it is. Like I said, it's a privilege.
Let's say the next step they would be like, they mandate the vaccines.
Yeah,
and if you don't get the vaccines, let's say jail time or something like that. That'd be fucking wild.
Yeah, I think that the majority of the population, I'd like to think the majority of the population would be in disagreements with that, disagreements with that. But then again, I don't know. It's up to the person to decide if they want to do it or not.
For sure.
If they don't want to get vaccinated, if they don't want to try to eradicate this virus, then don't be a risk. Don't be a risk to everybody else that can't get vaccinated or whatever. Just don't go out.
Yeah, it's one thing if you don't want to get vaxxed, and it's another thing if you also don't follow the rules.
Yeah, you don't want to get vaxxed, and you also don't believe in COVID,
and you don't want to wear your mask and things like that.
And that's
then it's like, okay, that's a you problem.
It's not. They're not under the same boat. Like there's a lot of people. It's so easy to
throw them all in the same boat.
Throw people that didn't get vaccinated, right?
Right.
Because they don't trust it, and even like part of me is like kind of skeptical. I think a lot of the population is like not 100% on board.
I'm not 100% on board. No, I got both my shots, honestly, and I have no shame in saying this. Only reason I got it
is to travel.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. But like sometimes like I have this like pain in my arm that I never have.
Yeah.
And it's the arm I got the vaccine.
It's that same arm. Man.
Oh yeah. Like I can feel certain things.
Yeah.
I know my own body.
Yeah.
I'm not anti-vax. I'm not saying I'm gonna die in 10 years because of this. But sometimes my arm still feels weird. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on here?
People with getting the vaccine, you start growing another arm out.
Third arm. That should be pretty sick.
People that don't trust the vaccine, and then there's a difference of people that are anti-lockdown, which aren't all bad either. They just think that the mandates, which in a way I agree with that. They shouldn't be mandating lockdown still.
Are they still?
No.
Oh yeah,
No, they're not. But they should.
If they would,
yeah.
No, they would. Yeah. I mean, unless we're like back into like let's say like 1,000 cases a day. Then it's like, okay,
exactly.
maybe. But even then,
but still, those people don't fall under the same boat as not believing COVID's real, right? So there's the anti-lockdowns, there's the anti-vaccine vaxxers, and there's the COVID's not real, and everybody thinks they're all the same thing,
right?
But
and
it's not.
Just
They're
so
all
far
separate.
From the
people.
truth.
Some people, it's a spectrum, like anything else is in this world today.
Yeah, I mean, if if gender can be on a spectrum, anything else can be. All right? Don't give me that shit.
There was something else I can't think.
If there's 82 genders in this world, there can be 82 of anything.
82 different kinds of beliefs about COVID.
Yeah. So let's just keep that in mind. All right. You can have your extreme thoughts. Other people's can have their extreme thoughts too.
And that's mostly what I wanted to say. I pretty much covered everything that I did want to say about it. Do you have anything else you wanted to add?
I got nothing to add.
No? Nothing to add? Well, we're back. We're
not
taking
back
a break next week.
After 1 week off.
Yeah.
Our apologies. Okay.
We're so sorry. We hope we didn't offend
sorry.
you.
I offended myself until
the election really got to us. We're like, fuck, we can't upload this episode.
Yeah. I got so personally triggered and so personally drained and deflated after hearing the results. Couldn't be farther from the truth. I'm just kidding. We are just busy, or we were insanely busy, insanely busy.
We got a good schedule going now. We got a good stuff going. We got TikTok, we got YouTube, we got live videos, we got podcasts going on. We got 4K retrospect camera gear.
Yeah, started from the bottom. Now we're here. So we got quite the setup. Wait till you guys see it. One day. And thank you all for listening. Thank you for your support. I hope you're all well, staying safe, staying healthy.
In these crazy times,
In these very crazy times. So until then, I'm Eric and I'm out. Ciao, ciao.
Take care.